Hello everyone, and welcome back to Planescape Torment. No, Rose, Daddy's busy. So, last time,
All right.
that's right, we just entered Farad's vault. The edges of these shelves used to be covered with symbols, but they have faded away. Perhaps this was once a library? Uh, this is a piece of cheese. These beams look centuries old and look hard as stone. Notice an enclosed space beneath the walkway begin to shimmer softly. Once again, Farad's crutch glows as well. Touch the crutch to the walkway.
I'm gone.
This is a huge bronze bell. This room must be the top of a bell tower.
All right.
This looks like it was part of some more permanent structure, perhaps buried in the surrounding trash. I do want to make sure I have some junk with me.
I'm gone.
Let me check. What is my 2 to 5 piercing? Okay.
See the shine on that? See the edge on it? I tell you what, Cutter, that'll do you your business.
Ah, yes. Aye, by the powers, stop creeping up on me like that. Pushes his spectacles up on his nose and gives you a hard look. And what is it I can do for you this time, I have some rat tails. I'd like to collect the bounty on them. Excellent. Most excellent. Claps his hands delightedly. Let me see. Phineas hums merrily as you complete the transaction. Thank you, good sir, the city of Sigil, and I appreciate your efforts on our behalf. I talk to this guy?
I'm gone.
Matter of course. This giant of a man wears an equally immense suit of ornate red armor. He regards you cautiously but without fear as you approach him. Greetings. A booming voice echoes from within his great helm. Greetings, citizen. I am Matter of Course, bodyguard to Diligence, fourth magistrate of the ward. You must excuse me, for my duties lie at her side. Farewell. One moment, I have some questions. He simply turns and begins to walk away. Diligence. This older, stern-looking woman is clearly on her way somewhere. When she notices your approach, she studies you with a disapproving, tight-lipped frown. Greetings. The woman nods curtly, speaking in a tone cold as ice. Yes, what is it? And watch your words, for I am Diligence, fourth magistrate of the ward. Something troubling about my appearance? I should most certainly think so. Should the Apparel Regulation Act be passed, people of your sort won't be permitted to traipse about in such a manner, half naked and filthy as you are. You're quick to judge one by their appearance, aren't you? You would tell me then that you are not a wanderer meandering about the city asking questions of all those you come across, engaging in more than the occasional combat to the death with those who cross you. Oh, let's fuck with her. Lie. That is untrue. Diligence stares at you coldly. You are lying to me. I will waste no more time with you, sir. Should you say another word or so much as approach me again, I shall call the guard. Now away with you. Alright. Actually,
I'm gone.
you see a burly, bored-looking guard. State your business, please. Who are you? Okay.
Hi. Like a shadow I am. Right? Like the shadows. Like the shadows.
Done.
Hi. Right? Like a shadow I am. Like the shadows.
The mechanism that operates this. Oh, what does it say? Does not have a conventional lock and may be warded against simple spells. Hmm.
All right.
That one looks good. How much? How much? Right up, boys and girls, young and old, buy your piece of human flesh right here.
I can't.
My skull itch.
I'll take the short one there, 75, 85. I'll take the big one over there, 120. Give me that little girl.
gone.
Malmainer. This thin, sharp-faced man rushes towards you, calling for your attention. Ah, sir, but a moment of your time. Were you perchance here to visit the tailor? I what? The man breaks in. I ask, sir, because I seem to have, offended the man. I had commissioned the hot-blooded fool to make me a costume, but he's thrown me out of his shop and will not speak with me now. So what? The man suddenly balls his fist and shakes them at the sky. What have I done to deserve such treatment? Nothing, I say. I was a patron. It is his duty to serve me, that churlish buffoon. What did you want from me? Eh? Focuses on you again. Oh, yes, you. Could I beg of you to enter the place and fetch my costume for me, sir? I have a masquerade to go to, and have not the time to commission another tailor. I'll do it, but not for free. You'll what? For the power's sake, man. You're just fetching a costume. It won't take but a moment of your time. I certainly don't think such a meager act is worth a wage, sir. Fine, I'll go get it then.
Updated my journal.
Oh, most excellent, sir. 'Tis this very building right here. He points to the long, low structure just north of him. I thank you, sir. Farewell.
Done.
Sensate. Please, sir, I have things to do. I'd appreciate your leaving me be if you'd be so kind. Farewell. Gone calves. Goncalves? I don't know. This short, heavy-set, middle-aged man is wearing clothes that seem to be spun of glittering gold. In his hands he holds a bolt of cloth strung taut across a wooden frame. He's currently embroidering some pattern into the fabric. Greetings. The man doesn't seem to acknowledge your presence. Huh? What was that? I don't know. Hold on. Okay, the man doesn't. Okay, as he sews, shimmering motes of light seem to sparkle, and he continues to work at his embroidery, muttering under his breath. As he sews, shimmering motes of light seem to sparkle and drop from the tip of the needle. Good sir, did you hear me? The man. The man does not look up from his work, frowning distastefully as he answers you. Yes, yes, and I am certain that what you need is truly quite urgent. Now, if you could be silent for just a moment. Quietly. At last he sets down the embroidery and looks up at you. Before you can speak, however, he suddenly picks up another item and sets to work on it. Again, as he works, what looks to be tiny colored sparks drip from the fabric. He finally finishes his work, setting it down to examine you. Greetings, I am Goncalves. Now, what was it you were here to see me about? I had questions. I hope 'tis about garments and the like. I shan't answer anything not concerning myself or the store, you know. I wanted to pick up a dustman. What were those lights while you were embroidering? That? Nothing, sir, but a bit of the art, which I at times weave into fabric when the fancy strikes me. Those items which I lavish enchantments upon are my most special creations and are rarely sold. What sort of magical clothes do you have available? Goncalves frowns. Looks you over, frowning. Nothing that would fit you, that is for certain. I'd like to see what you've to offer just the same. Okay, usable only by Anna. Hmm. I wanted to pick up a dustman costume. You're in luck then, sir. I happen to have one available. Its cost is 30 copper commons. I'll take it. And Calvis takes a set of neatly folded robes from under a counter. Here you are, sir. I would warn you, though, if this is for the upcoming masquerade of Lord Erd, many folk are already attending as dustmen. I'll keep that in mind. Farewell. The man looks at you expectantly. Well, did you get the costume from Goncalves? Yes, here it is. It cost me 50 commons. The man looks flabbergasted. Impossible. Ridiculous. We had agreed to a price of 30 coppers when I had it commissioned. He was upset, Malmainer. You had offended him, and so he raised the price.
Updated my journal.
He peers suspiciously at you, then relents. Fine, take it here. He tossed you 50 copper commons. Now I have to be off. Wait, Goncalves said many people were already going to this masquerade as dustmen. Did he? Blast, I would hate to arrive in such a common costume. I could go see if he has another ready. Not a bad idea, not bad at all. Quickly, see if that portly nincompoop has another, would you? I'll return with another
Updated
costume.
my journal.
Goncalves set down something he was working on and announced you. You come again, sir. Good. What can I help you with? I wanted to pick up another different costume. Goncalves smiles. Nods and smiles knowingly. The dustman bet seemed a bit too common after all, eh? Well, it just so happens that I have a godsman costume if you would like. It shall cost you only 50 coppers. I'll take it. Goncalves retrieves a set of folded clothing and a heavy leather apron and work boots from under a counter. Here you are, sir. Enjoy the masquerade. Thanks. The man looks at you expectantly. Well, did you get the costume from Goncalves? Yes, here it is. It cost me 80 commons. That's inconceivable. Wholly preposterous. Who does he think he is? He suddenly frowns. Come to think of it, that does sound a bit steep even for Goncalves. He eyes you suspiciously. You're not well liked by the man, Malmainer. You're paying for your harsh words to him earlier.
Updated my journal.
He peers suspiciously at you, then relents. He makes a disgusted noise, snatches the costume from you, and shoves 80 coins into your hands. Now I have to be off. Farewell. Fuck you.
All right.
This ominous-looking archway leads underground. To Under Sigil. I'll hold off.
Bite's not working on this. Dagger's not working in this thing. Bite's not working on this. Dagger's not working in this thing. Bite's not working on this. Bite's not working on this. Bite's not working on this thing. Bite's not working on this thing. Bite's not working on this.
Zarhava Vijor. The smell of alcohol wafts heavily from this young woman, and, despite her dark skin, you can see that her face, beautiful but cruel looking, is flushed. She is slender but well muscled, adorned in exotic jewelry and translucent silk clothing. Numerous scars crisscross her thighs and forearms. They look to be from battle wounds. Greetings. Well, well, what have we here? A little tiefling gutter queen, come crawling out of the hive. The woman pouts, talking as one would to a small child. Are you lost, little tiefling? Oh, look, it has a tail. How cute. Anna flushes in with a snarl, blades sprout from her fists. Now, fiendkin. Don't do that. The woman seems unconcerned as Anna draws her weapons and clucks disapprovingly with her tongue. Careful now, or I'll remove that tail of yours and feed it to my dogs. Enough, girl. Apologize to her, or I'll be cutting bits of you off. What foul thing gave birth to you, Sirrah? She grimaces in disgust and laughs harshly. Such a stench. Be you one of death's bastards? You noticed a curved long knife hanging at her hip. Her hand rests loosely upon its pommel. Want me to slap this barmy chit down, chief? Show no mercy, Mort. Mort winks at you and calls to the woman. Hey, you. That's right. You there, you saucy little tart. Look at me when I talk to you. What's got you so bitter, The woman, caught off guard, does not reply. Aw, does the little desert princess have her britches in a bunch because the sultan wanted another son? Tell me, desert princess, do you spend most of your nights drunken and belligerent, followed about by a handful of leering sycophants, looking in your own pathetic way to justify your existence to a disapproving father? What? How dare? Do you really think your petty brawling will finally make you feel better about yourself? Feel like you're worth something? Because it won't. If this is your sad little path to feeling better about who you are, I suggest you just give up, go home, and marry off into some courtier's harem. Aye. Mort turns to you. See, Chief? I know what's going to happen here. We all know Mort's right on the ball with this one. But, oh no, proud little desert princess, cut down in public, humiliate. The woman draws her blade, and snarling like an enraged animal, lunges at Mort. All for the guards. She gasps in shock. You fool! Are you mad? The guards would never take your word over mine. You're obviously drunk, and those scars of yours mark you as the fighting sort. You probably have a reputation for this sort of thing already. I think they just might. She stares hard at you, grinding her teeth. Let us drop the whole matter then, and be on our separate ways. Agreed. You've already wasted enough of my time. Farewell. Salabesh the Onyx. This tall, thin man, dressed in heavy crimson robes, has sharp, pinched features. He bows regally as you approach him. I am Salabesh, oft called Salabesh the Onyx, future mage tutor for the Civic Fest Hall. You've business with me, I take it? No, just some questions. About what? Not the warden the like, I hope. Plenty of more common folk could answer such questions, and I just as soon direct you to one of them. Why are you called the Onyx? A long tale, which I'll shorten to save my breath. In my youth, I was once called Salabesh the Golden, for I was said to have a heart of gold, small, hard, and yellow. Well, I cursed the fool who started that, so that he could only speak from his arse and defecate through his mouth. The Onyx appellation, along the same lines as the Golden, though admittedly somewhat less clever, soon followed. In any case, I'm a much kinder fellow now, far less prone to laying curses and the like. I'm not certain if I deserve the name any longer. Oh, that's great. He can only speak from his ass and shit out his mouth. You cursed him so that... What? Oh, yes. You heard right. Salabesh sighs happily and chuckles to himself. That sort of thing is why I'm known as the Master of Curses, you know. And another question. I'm not surprised. Do you know of a cursed man called Reekwind?
Updated my journal.
Reek? Salabesh's eyebrows suddenly dart up. Oh yes, Jumble Murder Sense. Jesus Christ, what a name. Curse that man, if I recall correctly. Why? Seeking to get his curse undone? Good luck, only Jumble can do that, you know. Where would I find this Jumble Murder Sense? Within the Civic Fest Hall, I suppose. A short, portly fellow with a leering smile. Never speaks, so you'll be hard-pressed to get anything out of him. What did you mean by future mage tutor of the Fest
Updated
Hall?
my journal.
It's a prestigious position to be an official tutor in one of the Fest Hall's training chambers. It's my intention to one day take the position of mage's tutor, but the title is currently in the possession of the Lady Thorncombe. If only I could somehow prove that I'd be a superior tutor. Never mind. Eli Havelock. This narrow-eyed, sharp-faced man is scanning his surroundings with a look of vague disinterest, pausing occasionally to look down and pick at his fingernails. Despite being clothed in silk and velvet finery, he manages to look unsavory and more than a little dangerous. Greetings. The man looks your way. His eyes are dark slits like narrow stab wounds beneath his brow. His voice is low and gruff despite his slender build. Pike off. And watch that mouth of yours if I were you. Makes a point of ignoring you. Grab him, shake him up a bit for some answers. Oh. I did not mean to kill him. Old poet, this kindly looking old man spares you only the briefest of glances before returning to his recitation. Oh, I'm not gonna heckle the man. Jolmy's messenger. This slender young man approaches you wearing a somewhat worried expression. 1,000 pardons, sir, but I am looking for a certain man, and I think you might be able to help me. Oh, how so? I am a messenger, sir, who seeks a man it said cannot die. A scarred man, for whom death is nothing but the most trivial of annoyances. You match the admittedly vague description I was given, sir, and I had wondered if you were he. Just who wants to know? I am in the hire of a wealthy nobleman, Jolmy Sirma, sir. I am the man you're looking for. He nods, then bows deeply to you. A message for you, then, sir. Mistress Jolmy of the House Sirma, a lady of high standing, has sent me. Mistress Jolmy would meet you in the Civic Fest Hall, where she would make a proposal, of which I know nothing, to you. Should you choose to seek her out, she wears green silks trimmed with gold and has hair the color of blue steel. That is the extent of my message, sir. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
A brothel of slating intellectual lusts. Ah, it's a mime. Presses hands against walls of invisible box. Yes. This man's face has been painted white. A pair of arched eyebrows has been penciled onto his brow. And red powder has been used to make small circles on his cheeks and accentuate his lips. He says something, but you can't hear him. His hands are pressed up against what looks to be an invisible wall. If you can touch him. Oh, is it really a guy? He's a mime in a real invisible box. You reach out to touch the man, but your hand is stayed by some unseen force. The performance artist appears to be trapped in some sort of invisible box or cage. Yes. What? I can't hear you. He hangs his head, sighs silently, and shrugs. He then steps back a bit, waves farewell to you, and begins to pantomime various actions, pulling on a rope, walking downstairs, and so on. This gentleman is closely watching some sort of performance art, a confused expression upon his face. Greetings. The man turns to you, but the performance artist still holds most of his attention. No? Poor fellow? Poor fellow. What's going on? Well, you see, that man is a performance artist. His act consisted of various silent impersonations, both of physical actions, pulling on a rope, being trapped in an invisible box, and of passerby. He happened to mock a passing mage's unusual walk and now seems to be cursed. He actually is trapped in an invisible box now and cannot speak. Ironic, no. Yes. A bit, yes. I had some questions. Okay. Oh, I love it. You can't determine what this odd device is.
Sweet smell of sensates and governors.
I'm gone.
Fall from grace. Before you was a stunning golden-haired woman dressed in an azure and violet dress with two long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She is surveying the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
Well
Greetings.
met, traveler. How may I help you?
The woman turns as you address her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. Notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? Yes, I am. Does it show? She smiles slightly. Not as much as you might think. You carry yourself quite well. What is this place? This is the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you did not intend to partake of this establishment? Brothel of slating intellectual lusts. What kind of brothel is this? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than the simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Sounds dull. I assure you, it is not. Tour the brothel. See for yourselves. I may do that. Can I ask you some other questions first? Have you ever heard of a night hag named Ravel? I am familiar with the name. Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as myth, but I suspect that she did exist and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow. Truly, I find myself compelled to ask why. I need information that she has. Is this information available from no one else? I suspect that only Ravel possesses the knowledge I need.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hand lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Ravel does indeed exist, then she is extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. To search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. I realize that. Do you know anything about Ravel? She was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste, and that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Now she primarily exists only as fiction, a figure in children's stories. Grace pauses. I imagine the Lady of Pain dealt with her as all the rest of Sigil are dealt with. How?
Updated my journal.
Ravel was most likely sent to a maze, one of the lady's prisons. Mazes? What are those?
Updated my journal.
Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle. The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of Sigil. You watch in surprise as a ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into the air, curling into a small circle. And make a maze. Go on. The small ghostly circle floats in the air, then begins slowly rotating. The piece of Sigil she takes holds the prisoner. There is no escaping being mazed. It can happen at any time, while walking down the street, through a door, claps your hands, and then you are somewhere else. Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside. Go on. Grace continues, the tiny ghost maze reflected in her eyes. It is said there is a portal that leads out of each maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left in to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps they are left in to torture the prisoner. The ghostly maze dissolves. Perhaps it is both. I see. Can you tell me more about this plane that Ravel is from? The Grey Waste? A blighted plane that lies effectively between Bator and the Abyss. It is frequently a battleground in the Blood War. Is there anyone else who might know about her? Someone in the Fest Hall may know more of her. Can I ask some other
Updated
questions?
my journal.
Who are you again? Okay. I am Fall from Grace. She smiles slightly. Can it be you have forgotten me already? Fall from Grace. That's an interesting name. She nods. I am pleased that you like it. I am fond of it myself. What does it mean exactly? The meaning of names is a complicated subject. There is much to be said, and a great deal that is better left unsaid. It is a tale for another time, I think. Very well, then. If I may ask, Lady Grace, the wings on your back, you are not human, I take it. She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi, she is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she will. Your companion is correct. I am a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. And you?
Updated my journal.
I'd like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There is much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps so. Can I ask you some other questions? Would you like to join me on my travels? Anna stiffens and starts muttering under her breath. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We don't need the likes of her, so's we don't. Bar that, fiendling. Mort clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. Powers know you're about as fun as passing a caltrop through your bowels. You best latch your bone box, skull, or I'll rattle you so hard they'll be picking your teeth off the spire. Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring your companions. That's rather forward of you. I'd rather be honest with my intentions. You seem extremely pleasant and well-versed in the ways of the plains. A companion with that kind of knowledge would be welcome. Hey, wait a minute. I'm the one well-versed in the plains. That's my job, Chief. Having two people knowledgeable about the plains in our band seems pretty smart to me. Besides, I said pleasant, too, Mort. Pleasant on the eyes, maybe. It looks to me like all some chit has to do is show a little skin and you'll sign her right up. Mort falls silent. Not that I mind that, really. I just thought I'd mention it. Noted, Mort. Look, Lady Grace, excuse me if I'm being too forward, but would you care to travel with us? I appreciate your candor. I shall counter with some of my own. Why should I travel with you? Lady Grace, I intend to travel to places perhaps no one else has ever been to, or could reach. Would that interest you? That would indeed. She cups her chin in her hand and thinks for a moment. Yet, how exciting can this place be? I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. Well, I'll see if I can find a more compelling reason. Farewell. Dolora. This dark-haired, pale-skinned woman has a cultured, refined look about her. As she turns to you, you note that her eyes, which you had previously thought to be gray, are the color of brushed steel. Greetings. The woman's voice is soft, calm, and without inflection. It has a certain far-away quality, as if somehow not attached to her. Greetings, I am called Dolora. May I serve you somehow? In what ways can you serve me, Dolora? She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently, if that is your wish. I am also well versed in various games of strategy, should you wish to play something, though I have the materials for few such games here. Debate, you say? Dolora nods. That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Acheron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage you in debate. Choose a topic, see if you can best her. You choose a topic and begin. At first you seem to be holding up fine, but in time your position crumbles as Dolora crushes one of your arguments after another with her infallible sense of logic. She seems to take no joy in her victory, however, and merely offers, if you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Wait, are you always so ruthless in a debate? Dolora nods. Mistress Grace instructed me to show no mercy. For another of her students always allows a patron to win after a lengthy debate. It was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience for the clientele. That makes sense. Farewell. Modron. This strange cubic creature seems to be as much machine as it is organic. As you approach the thing, it silently stares at you with wide, unblinking eyes. Its face hasn't the slightest trace of emotion on it. Come on, Chief. We're in a building full of some of the sexiest chits this side of the multiverse, and you're stopping to talk to Modrons? Ignore Mort. Greet the Modron. Its voice has a metallic, reverberating quality to it, as if it were more sound played out on some warped musical instrument than true speech. Your greeting is returned. There's a soft click as the creature blinks. An awkward silence hangs in the air between the two of you. I had some questions. Identify yourself to us. I'm not sure who I am. We would know why this is so. I don't know myself, I just can't remember. All things should have a name, all things should be identified. We find your answer unsatisfactory, but it shall have to suffice for the present. The creature pauses and blinks at you. We would identify ourselves as Modrons, quadrone-type winged variant to the subject. Some questions now. The subject is free to ask a question. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? We know nothing of any being or object possessing such an appellation. Farewell, then. Juliet. This dark-haired young woman is staring listlessly off into space. sighing miserably and occasionally picking at the seams of her green velvet gown. It's difficult to discern whether she's depressed or simply bored. Greetings. She gives you only the briefest of glances before staring off into the distance once more. Greetings, yes. I am named Juliet. How may I... Oh, never thou mind. Leave me be, please. She gives an exasperated sigh. What's wrong? Oh, nothing at all, only that I spend my days gazing into the face of mediocrity, seeing if anything can erase its dreadful, tedious passage. Is your life so tedious? Alas, it is. She sighs, closing her eyes and massaging her temples. Dreadfully boring. Perhaps I can make it less boring for you, my lady. No, no. 'Tis kind of thee to offer, though. I am already with a man, sir, and I do love him dearly. 'Tis just that I wish... She taps her finger against her chin. Something more of our liaison. Is the relationship lacking, then? The only thing it lacks is excitement, sir. Our families took the news of our courtship splendidly. His siblings love my siblings, and our friends think our union to be blessed by the powers themselves. All fine and good, but things are going... She frowns. So smoothly. It's not right to have such a trouble-free courtship. I don't know about that. Dost thou not? Hast thou ever had such a courtship? She glances briefly at you. It would seem that thy life is filled with a variety of problems, judging by the pallor of thy skin. It's not something I care to speak of. It's just that all my friends have such interesting relationships. One's fraught with turmoil, feuding families, daggers at one another's backs, poison, mad siblings, and irate fathers with large swords. I have a lover whose family loves me and whom the world loves. She sighs again. Great source of annoyance. How I wish I could formulate some way to spice things up. Mort floats close to you, whispering, I feel sorry for her lover. He doesn't know how bad he has it. A chit like this is nothing but trouble. What did you have in mind, Juliet? I'm not sure. Some element of danger. Or jealousy, something intense. I see. I had some questions. Juliet rolls her eyes. Oh, go on if thou must. What are you doing here? Juliet exhales a long and forlorn sigh. You realize she's not even really looking at you.
Updated my journal.
Juliet, did you hear me? Oh, I was not truly listening. My apologies. But certainly thou hast not come simply to deliver a litany of questions on my life of tedium and my tedious doings. Okay. That doesn't sound wise, Juliet. Relish what you have. I wish to experience troubles, sir. Troubles, though. I wish to experience the up and downs of courtship, but with him, no other. She sighs. Such a thing is love. It can be as dull as a club, and is of no use to an aspiring sensate. An aspiring sensate? Okay. What did you have in mind? I'm not sure. Some element of danger or jealousy. Something intense. Why don't you have an affair? She chews her lip. Never could I have a true affair, for I love him too much. But perhaps I could have a false one. She looks you up and down critically. Thou dost appear to be no stranger to dangerous behavior. Art thou interested in becoming a suitor? Yes, I'll do it. Excellent. My love, Montague, may be found within the Civic Fest Hall. I thank thee. Of course, I'll go speak to him. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
This tall, elegant woman, Vivian, with her sharp features and regal demeanor, is a striking example of aristocratic beauty. Her clothes appear to be spun of silver thread, and a small phial dangles from her necklace. She is perfumed with an exotic, erotic scent that seems to draw you towards her. Greetings. She looks you over, arching an eyebrow with what you sense to be disdain. Greetings, my name is Vivian. Am I to presume I am being summoned? I just had some questions. She nods imperiously. Go on, then. What are you doing here? Aside from my work as a student here, I am looking for something, actually. You would not happen to have smelled it, would you? Smelled it? Yes, I have a particular scent that seems to have gone wandering. It is somewhat difficult to keep in one place. I hope that someone did not take it by accident, though you never know, the ladies around here. She frowns. So, by any chance, have you smelled it somewhere? Hey, no, no. Down, Rose. Rose. Down, down. Rose. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Okay. How can a scent go wandering? Vivian shakes her head. I had meant to infer that it had been taken. The ladies here are a bit jealous at times, and have been known to take my various perfumes for themselves. This time, though, someone has absconded with my own personal scent. I worked on that scent, perfected it, and now poof, 'tis gone. I need not bear such annoyances. Vivian stomps her feet. I want that scent back, and I want it now. How would you know it if you found it? You would know it by smell, I assure you. It's quite striking, especially to men. I can help you. Vivian seems dubious. Are you certain? I do not wish to impose. No imposition. Oh, no imposition. I expect a reward. Vivian rolls her eyes, as I should have expected from your brutish mercenary appearance. Very well, recover my scent and I shall aid you with yours. Mine? She smirks, then points at you. Yes, yours. That foul vinegary smell. She sniffs and wrinkles her nose. 'Tis in your skin, too. No bathing will remove that stink. How would you do this, and how could it benefit me? To answer your first question, I possess certain skills, magical in nature, which I shan't elaborate upon further, which allow me to create and change one's scent. And the benefits? You simply cannot deny the fact that the smell of a man or woman plays an important part in how well one is received. Whether you've been told so or not, I am quite certain people are at least a tad put off by that deathly aroma of yours. It might increase your charisma considerably to smell a bit better, you know. Very well. I'll find your scent for you.
Updated my journal.
Okay, there she is. The deal is done then. Should you run across it, let me know. I am somewhat anxious to get it back. A one-of-a-kind scent, really. I'll take my leave now. Farewell. Nenny Nine Eyes. This petite, attractive young woman is smiling blissfully and humming to herself. Her wide, pale blue eyes seem to constantly drink in her surroundings as she looks about. Greetings. The smiling young woman curtsies gracefully and looks up to you, smiling. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny. And how are you this fine day? She suddenly notices your scars and places a gloved hand over her mouth. Oh my, you're hurt. She blinks. All over. Mort spins around you, mocking the girl's obviousness. Powers above, Chief. She's right. I never noticed it before. You're covered in scars. They're all old scars. I'm fine. She nods quietly, lowering her head. I had some questions. Huh? She can't seem to tear her eyes away from your scars. Oh, how shameful of me. Don't mind my rude staring. I am named Nenny. She makes a little curtsy, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our brothel for the slating of intellectual lusts. She returns to staring at your body. You have tattoos under those scars, too. What's that one? She points to one of your tattoos. That one's... looks fascinating. Look at the way the lines of ink. I think that's ink. She squints at the tattoo, then reaches out to touch it. Allow her to touch you. I think that's ink. She traces a figure around the edge of the tattoo. Is it ink? And what a pattern. Look at the way the lines intersect here. She touches the center of the tattoo. That's simply amazing. She purses her lips and frowns in disappointment. I could make it out better if there weren't so many scars. There's nothing to be done about the scars. They're permanent. Oh, I'm sorry. Pox on me for even mentioning them. She cringes. But I have to know, are you absolutely sure you're alright? I'm looking at you, and I can't help but believe that you're not in some pain. None of the physical variety, really. Oh, are you hurt inside? In the head? She clasps her hands eagerly. Mayhap I can help. In fact, I know I can. Part of a sensate's training is to learn how to draw hurt from others. My mistress says a sensate may draw pain from a wound and bring it into oneself. But nonetheless, I can help. May I try? Please say yes. Sensate? Sensates, oh, they're so dreamy. They believe that you achieve understanding only through experiencing as much of the multiverse as possible. Taste this, listen to that, feel this, look at that, and there's so much out there. It's such a big place that it's difficult to take it all in sometimes. Okay. You know anything about Ravel
Updated
Puzzlewell?
my journal.
No, sorry. That's a great name, though, huh? I'll bet she's a really interesting person. Hey, you should ask Yivas about her. Yivas collects all kinds of stories. That's all I wish to know. I had another question. What are you doing here? Talking to you, silly. She giggles and pokes you in the belly. Looks like I talk to all the patrons here. All the prostitutes do. That's what the brothel's about. Learning new ways to talk and share experiences and understand other people. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Then he frowns deeply. Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nenny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nenny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she just wishes you'd leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, all right. Nenny puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Ooh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of your eye as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? No, not really. Nenny frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you, depressed. You know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice on me, Nenny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie, she looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on brute. Big, mean, nasty brute? Better. Now hit me. Nenny clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Nenny slaps you. You barely feel it. She still looks shocked and frightened she hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you've got. You can say something bad. Just let it all out. Oh. Nenny draws her tiny frame to its full height, balls her hands into fists, puts them on her hips, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damn, BU. You deserve that for all the indignities you put me through, going out late at night. Her eyes roam up and down your body, getting into fights, getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think, Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me like I'm some backlicker looking for your approval. I am my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. Alright, that's enough out of you, Nenny. And he punches you. You barely feel it. Take this. She punches you again. And this. She punches you again, promptly turning into a little fist-flailing whirlwind. Okay, time to let go of the anger. And he sighs tiredly. Whew, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. And I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Sure. Question now. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be?
Journal.
Maybe. I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now, I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person, and that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I'd go ask her about it. Nenny nods at you. That's all I wish to know. Farewell, Nenny. This striking young woman has skin the color of burnished copper. A translucent white dress, held precariously by golden clasps, is draped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings. The woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. Some questions. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Her eyes flash and she smiles. She nods at you. What? What do you know of
Updated my
her?
journal.
She simply looks at you. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at you.
Updated my journal.
I love this shit already. Oh, fuck off, Mort. Can you write then, or pantomime? She pouts, shaking her head. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. Actually, let me ask you about something else. May I ask why you can't communicate? Who are you? He smiles and curtsies but offers no response. Hmm. Yes. Oh.
Done.
Marissa. Squinting at the figure behind the partition, you can barely make out a shapely female form in the darkness. She turns to you, but you can see nothing of her face. Greetings. The figure answers in a voice that is slow and deadly, like a steel dagger drawn across stone. Yes, you come to speak with Marissa, have you? Quite rude of you to enter a darkened room, storing behind my partition like so. Like so, rude and foolhardy. You hear a faint whispering sound, like a slight breeze, or the hissing of serpents. Mort whispers quietly. Whoa, creepy chit. My apologies, my lady. I wasn't sure if someone was here. The woman gives a slight humph. But it would seem there is someone in this room, wouldn't it? Shall you be on your way then? Just yet, I had some questions. Ask. Why do you remain behind this screen? Is it your wish that I step away from this partition? Into some patch of light and speak to you face to face? Marissa laughs, and there's the sound of scales sliding on scales. Nay, I think not. The darkness suits me, and doubtless suits you as well. Please, come into the light. Nay, and the addition of please will not serve to persuade me. Now what do you want? Surely you did not come all this way to see me. I do want to see what you look like. You have no such want. Oh, I do. What do you look like? Darkness hides us both. Let's make it a game. I'm frightfully bored. Let me guess. Are you a human male? I think so. Think so. How could it not know? I really have no sure idea of what I am. Truly. That's almost interesting. There's the sound of hissing in the darkness. Describe yourself for me. I'm tall, muscular, and horribly scarred. Indeed. She pauses for a moment. How are you so horribly scarred? Wait, never mind. I do not wish to know. Now describe yourself for me. Marissa describes herself as a shapely, pale-skinned, beautiful woman with a forked tongue, hair made up of writhing asps, and glowing eyes, which you assume she must be keeping shut. Are you a fiend?
Updated my journal.
Marissa laughs slightly. Oh, she's a gorgon. The sound accompanied by a slight hissing. No, hardly, though I have powers some might call fiendish. My glance turns living things to stone, for instance, from beings of flesh to statuary with the bat of an eyelash. Living things to stone? Could you turn, say, a limb into a statue?
Updated my journal.
I suppose I could, had you a limb, and were I inclined to do so. And I might be so inclined had I my crimson veil, but I do not know where it is gone. Have you seen it, perchance? No. What's it for? Is it just a normal veil? Marissa sighs quietly. No, not quite. It aids me in communication, face-to-face communication, that is. Why do you need to hide your face? Enough of these asinine questions. How tiresomely annoying you are. Now what do you want? Some questions answered. Ask. What can you tell me about the silent
Updated my
prostitute?
journal.
Yes, Echo. I knew another Echo once, though her name was written differently. I know nothing of this girl, though. Ask Delora of her. Made friends of an old lover of Echo's, I have heard. Alright. I was told you were seen sneaking away from Vivian's chambers recently. Is that connected with her missing scent?
Updated
Somehow?
my journal.
Marissa says nothing, though an angry hissing issues from the darkness around her. Yes, I've been known to creep into Vivian's chamber for some of her perfumes, though I doubt you'll meet another here who hasn't. If you're implying that I've got her personal scent, well, feel free to sniff around. You'll not find it on me or in my chambers, I assure you. Perhaps whoever took my crimson veil took Vivian's scent as well. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. Lord, okay. Delora casts her eyes to the floor with a sound that might be a sad sigh. I'm willing to serve you as a patron, but I have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but I fear you shall simply have to bear with that for the time being. What's wrong? Anything I can help you
Updated
with?
my journal.
She looks up from the floor and into your eyes. Once more you're struck by the pale smoothness of skin, the cold depths of her silvery eyes. No. No. I fear not. My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think all things shall be resolved. Certain there's nothing I can do? Certain, Delora pauses as if thinking. No, I am not. My first love, Merriman, possesses still the keys to my heart. As long as he has them, I shan't be free to love another. This is the cause of my melancholy. Then I'll find this Merriman and speak to him on your behalf.
Updated my journal.
Dolores nods, the slightest hint of a smile appearing on her lips. She bows her head. Were you to find and speak with Merriman, I would be most grateful. He's a member of the Society of Sensation, so you may wish to ask for him at the Civic Fest Hall. I'll return when I find him. Farewell. Yivas the Tail Chaser. Fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft sea green eyes. Greetings. Greetings, I am Yivas the Tail Chaser. What a coincidence. I, too, chase tails. Oh, fuck off, Mort. Yivas continues, unperturbed. Have you come to trade tales? I'd like to trade tales. Yivas nods. I would like that very much, yes. Tell her the story of your waking up in the mortuary. Yivas leans forward as you tell the tale of your waking in the dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale of the dustman. Chapters of dust. Wait, add a question. Yivas nods quietly. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Tale of Ravel Puzzlewell, frightener of children, begins and ends with a question. What can change the nature of a man? Go on. Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail, and they found the price of their wrong answer to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than the last victim's. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are woven from. Go on. The tale strikes me in this way. Ravel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially to one of such power as Ravel? Oh. Rose is curled up on her scratcher, taking a nap. Oh. Go on. It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll in like a wave. Go on. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Ravel's question. And now there is no one to petition, for Ravel herself is gone, lost to the plains.
Updated my journal.
I had another question. Wait, there is more. Though my tale ends with Ravel's demise, there are some that claim the hag still lives. There is a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Ravel. What else can you tell me of this silent prostitute? Echo? Yves frowns, thinking. I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that, if spoken, would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Delora, though. I understand that she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. That's all I wish to know, Yves. Farewell. See at her tongue. The wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered by only a narrow leather thong, a black cloth brassiere, and armored shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as the thin fur that covers her goat-like legs, is brassy white, and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brow. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription, Kamaski at her tongue. Greetings. Kamaski bares her teeth at you. And just what are you looking at, you banged up sod? My friend thought you were attractive, but whoa, was he ever horribly mistaken? He sneers at Mort, then looks below him where a body would normally be. Sharp tongue for a stemless deader. Let them keep at it. Like I'd let mine anywhere near if I had one. What, did you hear the word brothel and think you could make some jink here, you flea-bitten gutter whore? Huh. Can't believe they even let you in the door. What with all those ticks hopping off of your shaggy legs. Ticks? The only annoying insect around here is you. He suddenly turns to you. Hey, you here to talk to me or what? Or what? What else can I do with you? What did you have in mind, you sodding jawbox? Go ahead, give me a reason to say no to you. What do you usually do for patrons? I'm a practitioner of abuse. What's that mean? I'll show you. Her hand lashes out to slap your face, but you manage to barely dodge the blow. Kamaxi pouts visibly, then scowls. Oh well. Say, can you teach Mort here to be more abusive? She raises her eyebrows. Now that's an unusual request. I don't know, it seems pretty foul-mouthed anyway. Heh, that's he seems pretty foul-mouthed. Kamaxi bladdered dung, you scruffy goat-gammed harlot. You wish you had legs like mine, you pitiful wretch of a bone box. I can walk, run, dance, what do? Bob around wishing you had a pair, goats or otherwise. The two of them lay into one another, exchanging barbed, blistering insults and clashing with razor-edged tongues. Wait for it to end. At last, the two stop their bickering and eerie silence settles over them as they eye one another hatefully. Finally, the tiefling makes a grudging mission to Mort. You're not bad, really. Not bad at all. Better than you, perhaps? Mort waggles his eyebrows at her. Eh? Kamaxi narrows her eyes at Mort. Don't push it, Skull.
Oh, it's all right.
I won't, tiefling. I will admit I might have learned a thing or two, though. Good thinking, Chief. Sure thing, Mort. Kamaxi turns to you, so was that all you wanted? I'm not spending any more time near you than I have to. That's it for now. Farewell. Roll your eyes. Pike off, then. This gentleman is unremarkable, save in that he has a black eye, as if he'd been struck in the face. You bow slightly as you approach him. Greetings, sir. How'd you get the black eye? He smirks. Oh, that's a long story, sir. One you would not be interested in. Oh, no, you've got to tell us now. Yes, please, sir, do tell. The man sighs, rolling his eyes. Very well, but I shan't be made to divulge the details. Despite my earlier remark upon the tale's length, I might sum it up in 2 words. Camaxi Addertongue. Oh, yes. I know her. The man sighs dreamily. Wonderful, is she not? He suddenly snaps to attention. But wait, do not take my utterance for affection. Good sir, I am engaged to be wed, after all, to a woman I well and truly love. But Camaxi, she's so different to speak with, he smiles at you. Different. Yes. Never mind. Farewell. He's into BDSM. Or, well, S&M, at least. Or, I don't know what you technically call that part of it. Kasai Saris. This alarmingly voluptuous woman has a thick mane of wavy... Alarmingly voluptuous. She has a thick mane of wavy, raven-colored hair, bluish skin, and shimmering crimson eyes, like rubies which have fires lit behind them. Though she is not beautiful in the typical sense of the word, her features are exotic and not altogether unattractive. Greetings. The woman's voice is deep and sensuous. And my greetings to you, sir. Her burning eyes roam over you. I'm Kasai Saris, so tell me, what might I do for you, Anything, Mort cries. Do anything you want to me. Kasai laughs heartily, revealing canines long enough to be considered fangs. She shakes her head and smiles at Mort. Truly, though. Please, what can I do for you? Well, what do you usually do for patrons? Talk, of course, usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature, but not always. Kasai winks at you, smiling. So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy. I've heard everything, you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me, and I so love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you'd like to. But you must go first. I don't have dreams, actually. Kasai arches her eyebrows in surprise. Truly? How sad. Even fiends and devas dream, you know. Are you certain you don't? Quite certain. No dreams at all. Too peculiar. I'm at a loss as to what to say. Well, I did have some questions. Kasai blinks her crimson eyes at you, awaiting your question. If you don't mind my asking, what are you? Kasai shakes her head. What, can't you tell? She draws herself up, thrusting her ample bosom towards you. A woman! Raises an eyebrow. I can see my answer doesn't please you. I'm plain touched, actually, like your friend here. Kasai indicates Anna. That's all you need to know. That's all I wish to know. Farewell.
I'm gone. All right.
Jolmy. This stern-looking older woman seems to be looking for someone. Her eyes fix upon your face as you approach her. You there. Might I have a word with you? Yes, you're Jolmy, correct? I spoke to your messenger.
My journal.
I am pleased to meet you then. She gives a slight bow. I would make you a somewhat unusual proposal. Though you must admit you are an unusual man. I will give you 1,000 copper commons for your permission to kill you. Are you open to discussion on the matter? But why? Jolmy doesn't bat an eyelash. But why not? I thought it might be an interesting experience, paying someone for the privilege of murdering them. When I first heard rumors of your existence, how could I resist? So, what is your answer? Shall we discuss the matter in greater detail? One moment. Where did you hear these rumors? Jolmy frowns. One hears all sorts of things in the fest hall. How could one not eventually hear of a man like you? Can I ask, will you consider my proposal? Yes, let's work out the details. After a short discussion, it comes down to the following terms. Jolmy will pay you 2,000 copper commons. In return, you will allow her to drive her dagger into your heart. She will wait for you to awaken, at which point she will give you the coin. You agree to this, then? Yes, let's do it. The affair is over in moments. She's already cleaned her blade and put it away by the time you've recovered. After picking yourself up off the fest hall floor, Jolmy hands you several rolls of copper coins while you rub your aching chest. Somewhat disappointing, I must admit. Well, coin well spent nonetheless. Farewell. Yes,
Updated
farewell.
my journal.
Jumble murder sense. The short, balding man's orange tunic and rather sizable gut give him the look of a walking pumpkin. He is absent-mindedly patting his large paunch with a slow rhythm, as if it were a drum. The man's odd, crooked smile and a strange gleam in his eyes make him look a bit mad. Greetings. The man gives an exaggerated, flourishing bow and presents a small card, which reads only Jumble Murder Sense, Zausatech Sorcerer Extraordinaire. He then snatches the card from your grasp and proceeds to eat it, grinning wildly all the while. Mort whispers, somewhere an asylum is one barmy short. I'd like you to remove Frequent's curse. Let's cut to the chase. Jumble pretends not to hear you, instead belching loudly and resuming his belly drumming, his eyes wandering around the fest hall. Remove his curse, Jumble, before I'm forced to hurt you. Jumble raises one eyebrow and takes a step back. He opens his mouth abruptly and, though his lips or throat don't move to shape any words or sound, a torrent of incomprehensible babbling begins to pour forth.
Updated my journal.
Jumble shuts his mouth and the babbling ceases. He peers at you through narrowed eyes, a self-satisfied smile on his pudgy face. Suddenly, you hiccup. And hiccup, and hiccup, and hiccup again. Jumble Murder Sense merely turns his head and waves you away. Uh-oh, looks like you just got a curse thrown down on you, Chief. Whatever you've done, Jumble, undo it, or you'll regret it sorely. Jumble ignores you entirely. I better find someone who can help me lose this curse. Farewell. Oh, God. This throne appears as old as the building itself. Looks unused, more a piece of artwork than a ruler's seat. It's clear there's something very wrong with this man, Merchman the Headless. The way he lurches about, bumping into things, staring off blankly into space. As you approach him, you last realize his plight. He's headless. The thing on his shoulders is merely a skillfully carved wooden prosthesis, a false head. Greetings? The headless body stops fumbling for a moment and pauses. Its hands begin to reach out as if trying to feel exactly where you are. Grab its hand. The headless figure jumps suddenly, then holds your hand tightly, shaking it. The headless body seems friendly enough. It has a strong grip, but the skin is cold and slightly clammy. Where's your head? Can you even understand me? The figure makes a series of hand motions and waits for a response. It seems like it's asking a question. What? I don't understand. The headless body taps its foot for a moment, scratching at the chin of its prosthetic head. Suddenly, it raises a finger as if struck by an idea. It points at you, then at the eyes of its wooden head, then at you again. It then indicates its wooden head with both hands, shrugs, and points at you. No, I haven't seen your head anywhere. The headless body shrugs, slumps a bit, and turns to amble off. Jumbo frowns at your appearance, biting his thumb in your direction, waving you away. Jumbo, I need you to remove the curse you put on me. He rolls his eyes and yawns pointedly. Remove the curse, Jumbo, before I'm forced to hurt you. Jumbo Murder Sense makes a show of examining and cleaning his fingernails.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
I'll not suffer that guy to live. He assists the crooked. The squat, hunched old man still has the broad shoulders and scarred, calloused hands of a worker or warrior. An aura of weary despair seems to hang about him. He appears to be giving a lecture at the moment. Stay for the lecture. The blood war, more boring than listening to a governor recite laws. Let's find some young sensates who need to be indoctrinated in the ways of passion. He waggles his eyebrows in anticipation. Alright, yeah. Quisai. This is a life-size granite statue of a gentleman standing with his arms at his sides, eyes closed. It is of excellent craftsmanship, exquisitely detailed and incredibly lifelike. So much so, in fact, that you find yourself wondering if it's really a statue at all. Touch the statue. You touch this statue and find that while the clothes that adorn it are of gray cloth rather than rock, the skin is as cool and as hard as granite. Strike the statue. As you make to strike the statue, its eyes flash open and it catches your fist in an iron-hard grip. Narrowing its cold, gray eyes, it speaks with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Why would you strike Quisai? Forgive me, I only meant to see if you were truly a statue. He nods slowly, frowning. You are forgiven. However, one feels you are lacking patience. Perhaps I had some questions. The statue remains as silent as ever. Hello? My questions? There's still no response. Wait for a response. There is still no response. You get the sense that Quisai might be testing your patience. Keep on waiting. A few minutes pass and Quisai has still failed to respond. Wait quietly for a few more moments. The statue's eyes open. He gazes at you with cold, gray eyes. He speaks ponderously with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Your patience is noted. Quisai would speak with you now. Mort rolls his eyes and makes a gagging noise. Powers, no, not another Burke that talks like this. I have questions about you. After a period of silence, he speaks. Ask. What is it that you were meditating upon when I first found you? Quisai meditates upon the way of stone. Way of stone. Quisai nods. Philosophy, a method of combat. With it, Quisai seeks to achieve invulnerability. Invulnerability? You'd be unbeatable in combat. Yes, now, the way is not yet perfect. Quisai will make it so one day. Quisai knows this. Can you tell me what you've discovered so far? No one has asked Quisai to share his knowledge of the way. Quisai shall do this now. He begins to speak at length, slowly and carefully. Listen and learn the way of
Updated my
stone.
journal.
After hours of listening and many questions, you come to understand what little of Quisai's way of stone he can teach you. In combat, you will use it to resist and deflect your enemy's blows, improving your armor class. Thanks, Quisai. Farewell. Okay, I need to get this curse taken care of. Splinter. This towering man's golden skin sparkles slightly, almost as if it were metallic. Whether it's his actual flesh or merely painted on, you cannot tell. He regards you coolly as you approach, giving a respectful bow as you draw near. Welcome to the Civic Fest Hall, traveler. We are Splinter, doorman to the Fest Hall and priest king of How may we help you? Despite his humble offer of aid, his voice is powerful and commanding, a deep and rumbling sound that resonates throughout the chamber. How can you help me? We do many things in this fine hall, traveler. We answer questions guests might have regarding it or its inhabitants. We direct both visitors and members of the Society of Sensation alike to the sensoriums or lecture halls. We also accept new members into the Society. Lastly, it is through us that purchases from the Society's vaults are made, spells, items, and such. How could I buy something from the Sensate vaults? You must be a member of the Society of Sensation. Might I become a Sensate, then? In order to join the Society of Sensation, one must be willing and prepared to share their own experiences. 5 are required, 1 from each of the senses. Alternatively, one may contribute a single experience that has strong elements from all 5 senses. These must be either new sensations or improvements upon our current stock. Should we find them acceptable, they will be placed into sensory stones, and you, having become a sensate, will be taught the sensory touch. It will allow you to draw others' wounds onto yourself, healing them by accepting their suffering. I'm ready. First, what smell or experience involving it would you offer us? Actually, I'd like to contribute 1 experience that involves all 5 senses. I woke up, not knowing where I was, on a cold-blooded, slicked iron slab in the bowels of the mortuary. A place where only the dustmen or the corpses in their care have seen. Splinter nods. Go on. My entire body reeked of embalming fluid, but even the smell of that was not enough to match the coppery scent of gore around me. Dozens of bodies lie on countless bloody slabs like the one I rose from, all in the process of being gutted, flayed, and the like by nightmarish clockwork devices for reasons unknown. The only sounds were the squeals of labored metal and the unsteady tread of undead workers as they pushed the slabs about the mortuary on rusted iron tracks. He nods. A disturbing experience, and I even left out the part about the chattering skull that flew at me as soon as I was upright. Will that suffice, Splinter? Yes. You shall go to an empty stone now to record your experience. You will then be granted access to those privileges allowed only to members of the Society of Sensation, as well as taught the sensory touch. Accompany him to record your experience and learn the sensory touch. You return to the Civic Fest Hall's foyer with Splinter. We welcome you into the Society of Sensation, Traveler. May further journeys and experiences pave your road to the great truths of the multiverse. My thanks.
I
Farewell,
feel
Splinter.
stronger.
Oh. Oh, I'm in the Society of Sensates. I joined a faction without really knowing it. Should have. I took a guess that it would. A group of individuals who hold similar. Motto: know the universe by experiencing it fully. The senses form the path to truth, for the multiverse doesn't exist beyond what can be sensed.
I'm gone.
Three planes aligned. Thin and sharp-featured, his yellow skin covered with tattoos, this man looks over the room and its inhabitants with cold black eyes. He appears to be giving a lecture. Stay. I am known as Three Planes Aligned, a Githzerai scholar. If you are here for my lecture, it begins in a few moments. Mort sighs loudly. Come on, Chief, are we really going to stay for this? Let's be quiet for a bit, Mort. I want to listen for now. I gotta get rid of this. Oh, it just occurred to me that killing Jumble Murder Sense may not have been the best way to cure Reekwind. This man looks like a bitter, cantankerous old codger. His mouth is twisted into a frown that becomes even more severe as he notices you coming his way. Merriman, my name may be, but merry I am not. Off with you, young one. No time for the likes of you. He goes into a fit of coughing from the exertion of shooing you away so loudly. Wait. Laura wanted me to speak with you. Merriman eyes you suspiciously. That's so. About what, eh? Well? She says that you're her first love, and that so long as you hold the keys to her heart, she'll never be free to love another. She told you that. Eh? Well, I'm surprised. Perhaps leaving her under Mistress Grace's tutelage did what I couldn't. Started to develop her feelings. In any case, he pats a pocket on his tunic. I won't just give the keys to you. Wait, those are literally the keys to her heart? He nods. That they are. Dolores is a construct. Didn't you know that? A creature of sorcery and clockwork mechanics she is, and one of my finest creations. Merriman sighs. But cold, without emotion or character. I brought her to the brothel and set her so that you could not leave, in the hopes that the constant contact with so many others would begin to develop her own personality. Keys are the tools used to set her. She wants them because she feels that they're limiting her personal growth now, I suspect. What do you want for the keys? I want to forget. I've lived almost 150 years now, and I've seen every sensory stone I've cared to in this grand hall. I've little time left to live, and I'm too weak to go out in search of wholly new experiences. So I need to find a way to forget them all. That way, I could start again in my final days. How can I help?
My journal.
I'll need something, some item, some concoction that will allow me to forget, like a draught of the river Styx, something like that. Right. I'll return if I find something. Farewell. Right, the guy out front. The Onyx, whatever his name was. He would probably know how to get rid of. Salabesh. You see Salabesh the Onyx. He makes a brief but graceful half bow. Again you stand before me. Yes, I had some questions. Are you the mage that cursed the performer down the street? Oh. Salabesh narrows his eyes, his lip curls up. Him. Yes, I cursed him, and he was well deserving of it. Mocking a passing mage. Now what sort of fool does that? He was asking for it. After all, I am Salabesh the Onyx, master of curses. Don't worry yourself, though. The curse is harmless. Improves his sorry little act. If anything, he'll be fine. Master of curses, perhaps you go, help me then. Help you? Salabesh sneers, doubtful. Before you can respond, he sighs, shaking his head. Well, perhaps I could. What troubles you then? Jumble murder sense cursed me. Oh. Jumble murder sense. Ha! That sputtering mooncalf could never best me. Oh, the battles we used to have, though. Salabesh frowns, but I'm past all that now. No longer my sort of thing, you see. I really don't know what I could do for you. After all, it's his curse. Not the sort you'd find on an item or some such, you know, that you could remove with simple magics. He'll have to remove it, and willingly. Oh, God. Well, could you teach me a curse then that I could use on him? Well, I don't normally do that. I keep my curses to myself, you know. Besides, even a single curse would take one a long, long while to learn. More time than I'd care to spend on it. Perhaps you're just worried your curses aren't good enough to best him anymore. You what? Of all the ridiculous. Now look here, you knuckle-dragging sack of scars. Salabesh the Onyx is the master of curses, and there is no other. Why, I could give you but a single phrase that would render that nincompoop's cursing wholly impotent. Purse your lips. Look skeptical. That's it. You've made me do it. Salabesh utters a short string of impossible syllables, words of power, which you note mentally for later use against Jumble. There, see what that does to him, and tell me Salabesh the Onyx isn't the master of curses then. Thanks, Salabesh. I'll do that.
Updated
Farewell.
my journal.
Oh, boy.
Done.
Fuck me. Oh, am I stuck like this? Oh, that's beautiful. Let me actually. Oh, it's. Okay, that's actually.
I'm gone. Ugh. Ah. Ah. Ugh. Ah.
Okay, that's it for tonight. I'm at 2 hours, and that is, oh my god, that realization. Oh, it's beautiful. Mwah. Chef's kiss. All right, so that's it for tonight. So I'll be back this weekend with some Elden Ring. So thank you everyone for watching, and have a good night, have a good Friday, and have a good weekend. Bye bye.